I left South Dakota, it was the same way as when I found it when I got back, which was full of snow. And that was 4 years ago I left, and ain't nothing changed up there. And so we were able to go up there and beat a good football team. Black Hill State, we were in a shootout with that team a year ago. They returned a lot of guys. I thought our kids didn't let the weather affect them. They went out and played, and they acted like it was a sunny day. And I think you saw the result. And so anytime you're able to rush for 392 yards and hold a team to 54 yards rushing and pretty much be able to have your way, it's a pretty good day. And so got a lot of things we still got to work on, but we were excited to get that one. Now we're on to this one.
And then looking ahead to South Dakota Mines, what can you tell us about them?
Yeah, they got a really aggressive defensive line. When you cut the tape on, they've got 4 guys that play extremely hard up front, move around a lot. I think they do a good job of coaching them in pass rush and just playing the run. They use their hands really well. And then on offense, they've got a quarterback and a running back that they both use in the run game. And we're going to have a plan for that again. We face another offense that wants to run the football. I think the quiet piece of their team is they're really diligent on special teams, and they do what they're really well coached on special teams. And so we're going to have to be ready to play a full game this week, but glad to do it in front of our fans.
Questions?
Deeandra, how much fun is it to play defense in the snow? I mean, you guys get excited anyway.
Well, me being from Alabama, that was my first time that I've ever stepped on snow, anything like that with snow, and it was really fun. We kind of knew that they weren't going to be able to throw the ball how they kind of planned, so we knew we had to just focus on stopping the run. And once we stopped the run, we knew on defensive side of the ball that pretty much they were going to have to play into our game plan.
So, Gavin, you find out early in the week that you're going to start. A year ago, you're getting ready for the high school football playoffs. What changes in that year, and how do you, as a young guy, come out and kind of take over this team now?
What changes was the speed of the game. All you got to do is come out here and play football, though. It's all the same. It's mentality. Just got to come out here and play football.
Taking on the road, we talked a lot last week about how the trip was going to be.
Yeah.
Long bus ride, everything worked out to plan, or not as bad as you thought, or better than you thought?
It was better than I thought. I know me at 18 to 24, and I would not have ridden 21 hours total with face mask and shields and N95 mask on. I thought these guys did a really good job. It's a testament to them really wanting to play football, really being appreciative to have the opportunity to be one of the 10 teams in Division II playing. They did everything we asked them to do, and even had to stop some other folks that weren't in the group from messing up our opportunity to play as well. So the trip was good. I think that's why we played better, just based on the history of trips around here in this league. We did some things differently, and I thought it worked for us.
For you guys? Did you guys watch movies on the bus, or what did you guys have to do
To me, the trip was rough. I mean, it was rough. Just being on the bus that long, that was probably one of the longest car rides that I've been in, other than when I came from Alabama to Colorado Mesa. So it was rough, but like Coach said, I think we did a good job of traveling, and we stayed in nice quality hotels. And so anytime you're comfortable and anytime that you're not rushing to get place to place on the road, it makes it a lot much easier to focus on just football.
You think it's not easy to sleep in a face shield on a bus?
No, ma'am. Keep you some gum. Keep you some gum.
Exactly. The gum was important.
For sure.
But we got one about 2-hour movie in a 21-hour round trip. The rest of that was attempted sleep. But on the way there, I thought we had a great focus on the game and just what was at hand for us and what we needed to get done. So it was a good trip for me.
Gavin, can you kind of take us through your week from last week? Once they say, hey, you're gonna start. I know you prepare the same every week, but you could go from being a scout team guy almost, or getting partial reps to getting most of the reps. What was your week like last week?
Honestly, I felt I was ready. I just all throughout the summer I've been here just playing with the same mentality and focus of like this job could be mine. And I wanted to win the job, and I wasn't mad about Aaron becoming the quarterback. I was actually happy for him that first week. But I just want to be able to do whatever I can for the team as a whole. So a lot of film study came out of that week, and I realized watching film for high school is a lot different than watching film from college. A lot more details, focus on individual players, not just the scheme of the defense, but very in-depth is how I would describe that experience.
Break a lot more things down, so
Yeah.
you can see a lot more, it's a lot more minute details. But it looked like the game slowed down for you, kind of as it went along. Did you just kind of, I mean, I'm guessing first series, heart rates up there a little bit?
A little bit. A little bit of nerves never hurt anything, but I mean, you get the first drive jitters out, and then you just keep rolling with the punches. So.
I know this offensive coordinator, they talked about goals in the past. Did you guys kind of, I know you won the game, obviously, that's the main goal. But did you guys hit on your offensive and defensive goals as well? Obviously, I know that it was blowout, but.
Yeah, from an offensive standpoint, I think there was either one or two goals that we came short on, but for the most part, we executed very well. And I mean, there's always room to grow, but I feel like it was a fairly solid game from the offensive standpoint, especially in the run game. The offensive line, they keep doing their jobs, and our running backs run with all their heart, and it's awesome to see.
Same on defense. I think we came up short on 2 goals. I think we were 1 turnover short, and I think we ended up getting 3 sacks, and our goal every week is to get 5 as a defense. So we were short on those 2 goals, but we still executed the game plan well. We stuffed the run. That's our motto every week is we got to shut the run game down and make you get out of their comfort zone as an offense and throw the ball, because we feel like we have some pretty good guys on the back end once the ball's in the air. So we did a good job on defense, just executing our game plan.
Does that kind of almost help give you like a chip for weeks going forward?
Oh, definitely.
There's definitely things to focus on every week?
Definitely. We just, as a defense, we get tired of hearing it in film that we're short of a takeaway, so we go in every game trying to get 5 or 6 and really try to double that if we can. So that's our goal, and it gives us a chip on our shoulder as a defense. I mean, we're still mad that we let up 7 points in that game, so it just gives us something to build off of and work on later on this afternoon when we get to practice.
How'd you end up here? It's a ways away from Arkansas.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I knew that I was going to graduate early as a junior at Arkansas Tech, and I graduated, and for a second, I honestly thought I was done with football. I kind of just made my mind up that I was going to start working and just use my degree and start coaching and teaching and things like that. And then Coach Black, our linebacker coach, he actually hit me up on Twitter and DM'd me. And for some reason, Twitter's like the big recruiting portal now for, I guess, coaches across the country. And really, when he hit me on Twitter, and I finally got to talk to Coach Jack on the phone, and it was a no-brainer for me. I got a best friend here, DeMar Mitchell, that plays safety, and I think he did more recruiting than the coaches did, honestly. But I'm here, and I'm happy here. I couldn't be happier. There's no place I'd rather be right now than Colorado Mesa.
So you look like you were enjoying things that first game, and just the emotion.
Yes, ma'am.
Just kind of that one more chance to play kind of thing.
Yes, ma'am. And that's definitely, I feel like that's kind of my role on the team. I'm an emotional guy. I mean, I play with emotion. I practice with emotion. I work out with emotion. And so I feel like if I bring that energy and emotion every day, it just rubs off on the guys on the team, and it just makes us go even harder.
Gavin, the first couple of snaps, obviously you're kind of getting your feet under you. Then one goes high, and one goes over the head. Now you're like, what's going to happen next, type of thing. But right after that, everything just kind of settled down. It seemed like just kind of.
Yeah, all throughout high school I dealt with the same thing with my centers, but you got to get with the guy, practice, keep going through those snaps. And honestly, it's just you got to think what he's thinking about too, all of his responsibilities as well. And like I said, the first drive jitters possibly could have launched that ball over my head. But I know our center, Kalen, he's capable of putting that ball in the spot every time. You need to talk to him about it and practice those reps and make sure he gets it every play.
It's just, just a few more reps. And,
Yeah, exactly.
plus I'm guessing the ball was a little bit slippery at times.
Yeah, a little bit. It was a
Probably
little
couldn't
wet.
feel his hands.
Yeah, it got a little wet. Take me through the touchdown. I mean, you go over the top and, you break the plane and all of a sudden there goes the ball, but, well, I'm going to land on it.
Once that ball came out of my hands, it was still my ball. I wasn't letting anyone else get that ball. I wanted to make sure we scored because at that moment in my mind I knew I messed up because we're taught not to reach over the line and stuff, and in wet conditions I don't know what was going through my head. I was like, touchdown, I got to get this. But so I was like, I messed up, I got to make up for my mistake, and I had to get on top of that ball right away.
Did you see it as you were coming back down?
Yeah, it landed on one of our offensive linemen's backs. So yeah, I tried grabbing for it, and we were all fighting for it, but finally got on it at the bottom of the pile. All I could see was the coaches just yelling at me on the sideline.
Just to be clear, Patty, for the guys that wear the black and white shirts that might be watching this, when the ball crosses the plane, it's a touchdown. It shouldn't have to go all the way to that. And we teach him not to do that, but it actually was a touchdown without all the drama, or it should have been. So.
I thought he, broke the
Well,
plane.
one thing we know about the RMAC is we like to make it interesting. So it's the one thing we've learned in the first two games.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. What did Gavin show you and the coaching staff in that the week leading up, and then obviously in the game that?
Yeah, he's mature beyond his years. You can tell. We knew that when we signed him. People don't know this, but Gavin was already graduated during the recruiting process, and I think had we been here earlier, we would have tried to get him in here for the spring. So he was well beyond where your average freshman would be. I think he was working in the spring, correct, instead of going to school. So, he kind of knew what he wanted. He had a chip on his shoulder doing recruiting. Me being a defensive guy, I like that. We told him during recruiting that this moment could come, and would he be ready to drive the car per se if we gave him the keys. And so he accepted the responsibility, and I think most of all he got his teammates to rally around him, which is not common for a freshman. I think Deeandra can tell you that too. He showed some signs during camp where guys knew he had a lot of ability. So it wasn't a hard transition, but the way he prepared, we knew that he would give us a chance. And then he got himself out of some trouble, with his feet and things he can do. So we were very confident going in that he could help us be successful, and we think his future is bright.
Gavin, going to those keys that Coach was talking about, handing you the keys, how does it feel to kind of be leading the team with such a big win this week?
It is a nice opportunity. I'm grateful for it. But I feel like from a leadership standpoint, we still have a lot of upperclassmen that take that role. I still need to find myself to fit into that role, because guys like Dre out here, that, like he said, his emotion can drive the team to be better and stuff like that. So I still need to find myself when it comes to aspects like that to be able to lead this team further. But that's all down the road. And I can start working on it, or I've been working on it and can continue working on it, but with time it'll come.
Also kind of nice to get this season in playing, but it's not going to affect your eligibility too. I mean, it's not a practice season, you're getting so much experience, but then your career, the clock really starts next year.
Yeah.
How much is that going to help you think down the road?
I think it's going to have a major impact on me for a reason beyond my knowledge too. I think it's great to get these looks this year, still have my eligibility down the road, but I mean, some extra games can never hurt anything.
So week 1, kind of the vibe was we're just excited to get on the field. Week 2 with the travel. What's the plan for week 3? What's like the main motivational or game plan for next opponent?
Yeah, it doesn't change. Got to beat the test on Wednesday to get an opportunity to play on Saturday. And once we do that, once we get past Wednesdays, I think everybody in our program takes a sigh of relief, because the Thursday practice is a little bit more upbeat. Wednesday, I'm sitting there waiting on a phone call, and these guys are practicing. And this has been tough. This has been stressful. I think that's why it's only a couple of teams doing this. But the goal and the mission doesn't change. We want to win however many games they put on our schedule. And so it's about going whatever and is what we say. And so, I tell y'all every week, we win all these games, we're going to get rings, period. I don't care if I got to buy them myself. These guys have been through a lot. And for them to come and continue to show up week in and week out after what we asked them to do, which is not easy. We're very proud to get those opportunities to play, and we give it our all because we know every play could be our last play with everything that's going on.
Any word on, speaking of 7 games, I know it's been in the works to get more. Are we stuck at 7 now? Or?
Well, we're at 5. We're still at 5, and I don't know if 6 is happening or not. Here's what I will tell you. Call somebody and tell them we want to play November 14th. We have an opening November 14th in Grand Junction, Colorado. Call them and tell them to come because we're calling them, and after these last 2 games, they won't come. And so, and I'm not trying to be funny or call anybody out, but we want to play football at Colorado Mesa. I don't know what people were used to. This is a different Maverick. We got a different type of breed in us. And so we've got an opening on the 14th. I'll post this on my Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff. We want to play somebody right here in Grand Junction. We can play daytime, nighttime, in the afternoon. Doesn't matter to us. We just want the opportunity to play football. And these guys would agree. They want to play. So we're going to play with a 5 now. Hopefully we get 6. Hopefully we get 7. But if you know somebody, just let them know we want to play.
Spot the ball. Just spot the ball.
Deeandra, how easy was it, you said moving up here, you know a couple of guys, and so many new guys on this team and a new program. How easy was it to kind of fit in and kind of find your spot?
This is probably the easiest transition into college as far as like transferring and getting on a new team, and this is probably the easiest. I mean, day one, guys were inviting me over to come to the house, hang out. Like, it was, I don't know, it's weird, but it's just, usually when you transfer, you know what I mean, just being a transfer guy, you feel like guys are going to kind of whisper and be like, this guy this guy that, you know what I mean. As we say now, people would hate on you. It was none of that. It was all love day one, especially on the defensive side of the ball, because we had this little weird, like, I guess 2-week fall camp where you kind of got to hate the offense and the offense has to hate the defense. And so we did those 2 weeks, but it was like right after camp was over and it was time to get real and it was time to start playing other teams and hitting other people. I mean, we love each other here, man. It's just what we do. It's what we're coached to do. And this is by far the easiest transition I've made as far as just transitioning to a new team, being a grad transfer and things like that. It was all love day one, from the coaching staff down to the walk-ons on the team. It's all love for everybody on this team.
You mentioned you fell short of 2 goals in week 2. What does it take to get all your goals in week 3?
I think it's gonna take the same mindset on stopping the run. Once we stop the run and we get them to dropping back, passing, and 3rd and long, and we can really just lock up and play man, and our playmakers can roam the field and fly around and make plays. It makes it hard for offenses to just really sit there and just do one thing to us. If you try to just run the ball against us, we're pretty good and pretty sound on stopping that. So I feel like once we get teams into trying to drop back and take 5-step drops to make long throws against us, and our D-line can get home, and our linebackers can run and just hit, and our corners can cover, it makes it hard for pretty much anybody to beat us, and that's all it's going to take. It's just going to take us being gap sound, playing assignment football, and each guy playing in his gap, and I think we'll be fine. We're going to first force teams to turn the ball over just because we fly around so fast.
You got that question of the week ready?
Okay, so you had anybody play like the role of you in the movie of your life, who would it be?
Can you say that one more time?
So if anybody could play the role of you in like the movie of your life, who would it be?
Yeah, you start on your end.
Wait. Gavin, start with Gavin.
What?
So like a famous person?
Yeah, you actually.
Oh, like an actor.
Like, who anybody could play you in the movie of your life, who would it be?
Probably Denzel Washington.
I was,
I think I'm a Denzel guy. You know, Coach, you know I'm more of a Denzel guy. Denzel Washington.
There's no other explanation to you.
No.
Right there.
he's a Denzel guy. And this one's tough. I mean, Mark Wahlberg did a good job in Invincible, so
Go.
I mean maybe he could do that. I mean, there's also Matthew McConaughey, very dramatic dude. Could do a good job. Maybe Will Ferrell. That
You gotta
looks like
pick
me
one.
A little bit.
Gotta pick one.
Hey, can you pick one? Golly.
He's having
I'm weighing the options. I'm weighing the options.
Golly.
Based on looks, I'm gonna go Will Ferrell.
I'm gonna play my own role because I don't know. Denzel would, you know, if you do something in the black community, Denzel is the guy. Like he has to play you to validate your life, and so.
So I win Denzel.
But I'm just gonna. I think nobody can play me like me, so I'll play me, and then get the money, so I don't have to share it with anybody, Aaron. So I'm selfish, you know.